So sorry for the delay. I had some technical difficulties, but here we are. Um, Purpose Workbook, an introduction to a 7 week process and a step of 7 principles to define one's purpose and create um, a destiny or a process and results that are aligned with one's purpose. First of all, about a little bit about myself. I have been a coach um, and a consultant, a numerologist as well for over 15 years. I have um, worked with hundreds of people. And not until I actually came to Sebastopol and joined the Diana Center, I realized that one thing, especially with creative people, which a lot of them are here, creative people and creative mind likes to change things and to basically gain more knowledge and gain more information, but that doesn't mean necessarily that gaining more information and more knowledge get us closer to what we hear to explore, do, and share with other people, as well as make money. And one thing that I did realize within the Diana Center was that um, people came to trainings, to classes, to workshops to gain an expertise or to gain an experience, and then they were left without knowing exactly where it needs to take them. And I'm sure I'm talking to some of you that have the same experience. We always have some sort of the illusion of thinking that if we'll gain another um, certificate or another training, we will find our way. So with no further ado, so that's where I came and realized that we need to have a process to define our purpose, to define the message that goes with it, to understand um, our message and the narrative that we offer, and to find narrative affiliate that we can work with. So this free webinar is about the 7 principles of one's personal brand, so to speak. So let's look at it. So the main thing that's is really important in any journey is to embrace the past, not to reject it, and defining the present from a place of vision, seeing oneself as a radiant being who has something to offer unique right now. So holding that idea that we all have something to offer right now, right here, right now. So why Purpose Workbook? Why now? I explained it a little bit in my introduction. Why now? And and the thing is that I suggest for all of us is to find a little bit freedom in and accepting the current reality that we're in. A lot of us are, it's always a process. We're not really where we think we needs to be or we're supposed to be or would like to be. We're always chasing that idea that we were supposed to be somewhere else. So just sit here for a moment and understand that you are in the right place at the right time, and this is where we're supposed to be. This is where you're supposed to be. So 7 principles of your personal brand is 7 components of what will drive and fuel a purposeful way of living and create also the streams of support and revenues associated with it. So the first key is to have a vision and the creative force within us, which is a vital force within. So you need to think about I want you to think about 3 things you care about right now and write them right away. And as well, I want you to also speculate or kind of be truthful with yourself. How much are you engaged in these things you desire for yourself or you care about? How much you really engage in them on a daily basis as a practice? Just speculate that. Then the second principle is to define a purpose drivers or purpose drivers. So our passion is fueled by ideals and values, by aspiration of seeing ourselves in a particular light or a particular vision we're holding ourselves. These ideals and values needs to be something we are on an emotive level engaged on a daily basis. What are the ideals and value you hold for yourself? And how truthful you are in terms of like engaging with them on a daily basis. A lot of us, most of us, has plenty of ideals and values, and we would like to be engaged in them as a way of living. But there is a gap between how much we actually practice these ideals and values about ourselves and how much we are committed to them. So this truthfulness needs to be really a process of looking at how serious are you about what you're passionate about, basically, and whether you're willing to let go of something that you don't practice, or you're willing to up your practice or your commitment on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly cycle. That's the second thing. What drives your purpose? The third principle is a principle that called coming from completion. So coming from completion means that you have a passion, you have a vision, you have ideals and values that drives it. You have an idea of what you would like to create for yourself in this lifetime. And coming from a full understanding of the experience you would like for yourself in this lifetime. That's a key to success. Really have a complete vision, and the more detailed we are about that vision, the better. The more we can actually create a picture of where we are heading and what we are creating day by day, what we are living as a living vision day by day. Because I would tell you that a vision of something that we don't have yet we are embedding it as an emotive experiential process will create where we want to be. We'll create it. We need to actually live it on a daily basis. And I know it sounds etheric, but that's a reality. If you see yourself from completion, you see yourself who you have become, and you start to becoming it on a daily basis, and there are experiences that you basically cultivate on a daily basis, you are becoming that vision. Coming from completion means you have a complete idea who you are becoming. And some of it has to do with money as well. Who do you want to become as a successful creative creator, getting paid well, doing what you love? That means becoming an expert or becoming a source in the area that you love, so that expertise is going to be valued. That's coming from completion. The fourth principle is brand as narrative. And I put lost in translation. It's a little bit kind of sarcastic about it, because many of us, especially creative visionaries, especially I work mainly with people who are either in the healing arts, counselors, therapists, teachers, who works with creative people. And many times there is a gap between our creative vision and the ability to articulate it in communication, or to create a clear narrative or a story that is translate to clear communication of what we providing, what is our vision for ourselves and others, and why we are the best source to work with. Most of us do not know how to tell our own story. And where to start is start from our values and ideals, as well as the vision coming from completion, what we see ourselves becoming, and starting to tell a story about ourselves and what we offering at this point in time. Practicing our story in real time more and more will make us successful, because a lot of time the gap between success and between failure is a lack of clear narrative and clear storytelling. The fifth principle is how, the plan. So we figure out a story, an output that we would like to share with the world. We need to figure out what is the form of that output. What is the unique offering and services or message that we provide around our narrative? Without a container for a narrative, you cannot actually exchange value for value. So how, what is the form of our narrative, how it translates in services and offerings is really crucial. The sixth principle is narrative drivers. It's plan in time. Our offerings are fueled by unique expertise and experience. What will be the forms of delivery? What is it? Is it, let's say, one is offering healing in a form of coaching, life coaching. What will be the form of delivery? Is it going to be a form of delivery as one-on-one coaching for specific audience? Is it going to be for groups? Is it going to be coaching in the form of retreats or in the form of a full day healing session? And how frequently one will deliver it in order to create a flow of revenues, success, and exposure. What will be the rhythm of it? So narrative drivers, plan in time, offerings in times is really important to define. It's not a one singular shot. One needs to actually define what is the narrative in the form of offerings, what is the frequency or the rhythm that it will be delivered, and what would be the format of it. And the last but not least, there's more, is to whom. So we figure out why we're doing, why our passion and our narrative is important, what, in what form or format, and what frequency we need to deliver it. And the last thing is, who are our story or narrative collaborators and affiliates? And our clients are our collaborators, our peers, our collaborators and affiliates. And to define that, the more you define who's your audience, the more specific you are, what is their particular needs, the more likely you will gain exposure, success, and gain momentum in what you offer. You need to be specific, unique, and narrow in the choice of audience. It's not everything to everybody. And it's hard, especially with us creative folks. So, just to sum it up, we looked at our passion, we looked at the areas of what fueled that passion, how this passion needs to be communicated, what is the format that this communication is being delivered, what is the form that the services through this message are being offered, what is the frequency of it, and to who are we helping, who are we working with. Okay, great. So basically, this is an introduction to the 7 principles of your personal brand, basically, or your narrative. It's a 7-week process under Purpose Workbook. It's a coaching process that designed as a live exchanger over a web video conferencing platform, Zoom. I apologize again that we had some technical issues here. It's a powerful process, solution-oriented with a clear analytic assessment. It will provide tools for strategy, choice making, and goal setting. It will span over only 7 weeks. So within 7 weeks, we'll actually move through these 7 principles with specific assignment and build up of your narrative, purpose, focus. Here's the thing that I want to add, one more thing. The tool that we have are not our purpose. These are tools that we deliver that help us help others. I'm going to talk more on that within the Purpose Workbook process. The weekly class dates are April 2nd, April 6th, 13th, 20th, 28th. Sorry, I messed up here. I would say it's May 4th, May 11. Yeah, right? Yeah. And I think that's it. I see I made a mistake here in the slide. The time is between 6:15 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. Class will be recorded, and to enroll in the program itself, it's limited to 13 people. It's about to begin on April 2nd. You can go on the site, on the screen here, and there's a special offer right now through the 22nd of March for $294 early bird tuition. And I would love questions or anything that you have or request that you have or desire you want to, things you want to actually explore. Please contact me at akivasn@gmail.com, or we can schedule a call. Thank you so much for being patient, and I'm looking forward for your question. I'm looking forward to support you in your pursuit of purpose, growth, and creative output and narrative. Hariom.